Greater Media Broadcast News.
Welcome to another edition of Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Susie Shea, bringing you the top headlines in Central New Jersey. Here's some of the stories we're covering this week. An auto theft ring, remembering John F. Kennedy, a book drive to kick off the holiday season, an update on Fort Monmouth, and a lecture on the ideal minimum wage. In an exclusive report uncovered by Greater Media newspapers, police believe an auto theft ring that targets high-end vehicles has descended upon Central New Jersey. Several police departments are reporting an uptick this year in the number of luxury vehicles being stolen from private residences. So far, thieves have swiped 14 such vehicles in Marlboro and another 11 in Colts Neck, and several police departments are reporting similar numbers. Police say most of the thefts have involved vehicles that were left unlocked in the driveway with the key fob still inside the car. While police in many areas have stepped up patrols, they are advising residents to be more diligent about locking their cars. And here's Mark Rosman with more ways you can contribute to typhoon relief efforts in the Philippines.
This week, Greater Media Newspapers has the story of the Ritchie family of Millstone Township in Monmouth County. Myra Ritchie has relatives who live in the Philippines, and their lives have been turned upside down by the typhoon that struck that nation just about a week ago. She's been able to reach some of her relatives, but as yet has not been able to reach all of them. Myra Ritchie has gone around the community and has started taking up donations that will eventually make their way to the Philippines and help the residents of that island nation. Chief among what is needed is summer clothing because of the tropical nature of the Philippines. The story appears in Greater Media newspapers this week, and we send our best wishes for this family as they try to locate their relatives in the face of all this devastation.
Want to start giving early this holiday season? Keith Hugh Miller has the details about a local book drive.
While for many, the holidays mean a season of giving, one all-volunteer charity has made a habit of giving back to New Jersey's youth all year round. In the last 10 years, the Rumson-based Bridge of Books organization has collected and delivered more than 400,000 books to underprivileged and at-risk children in communities across New Jersey. In the last year, the charity has also begun doing outreach work, conducting surveys and encouraging recreational reading in high schools from Newark to Kingsburg to Lakewood. In our papers this week, we talked to Bridge founder Abby Daly, who continues to run the charity out of her home, along with the aid of a few volunteers and a donated storage facility in Red Bank. Daly explains how books, as opposed to the more traditional holiday toy donations, can have a huge impact on the lives of local children. We also speak to representatives from some of the countless organizations and schools who have benefited from the charity in the last decade, all of whom say Bridge of Books is helping to make big changes in local towns.
Thanks, Keith. From now through the end of January, Greater Media newspapers in the Nilopan and Ice World of Howell and Middletown will have book drop-off bins at their respective locations to support Bridge of Books. Those who donate a new book to Ice World receive a free skate pass, and those who donate during any public skating session will receive $2 off admission.
I was at work when my family was evacuated. I got my family to a safe place and headed back to work. My house was flooded. It was bad, but we were lucky.
1 year later, cleanup is still underway. Our crews have been working here every day, setting new poles, running new lines, and installing meters as homes pass inspection.
We're committed to restoring and re-energizing the Jersey Shore.
And here's Mike Pavlichko of Greater Media's WCTC with an update on the Rutgers football team. After that, we have Tim Morris with more on local sports.
Should Rutgers defensive coordinator Dave Cohen lose his job? Well, the answer is yes, and the answer is no. If you haven't heard by now, Cohen has been accused by Javon Tyree of South Brunswick of being verbally abusive and being a bully. He's left the team, plans to leave the school. His scholarship will be good through the spring. Now, there were some names called that I can't use on the radio, nor can I use here in this venue. And it all happened in April, around the time the Mike Rice incident came to light. In a statement by Rutgers, there's no denial of the incident. Cohen, the statement says, apologized, and Rutgers athletic director Julie Herman says she met with Tyree's parents, talked to them. The kid's father denies it. The truth is one or the other, but that's not what I want to talk about. Let's cut right to the chase. What Mike Rice did, throwing basketballs at players, you can't do that. Physically abusive, no question. What Dave Cohen did, It appeared to only happen once. It was an encounter that escalated, according to Rutgers, and he was disciplined by everybody, and we all seemed to think it was over. Let me ask you this, though. If Javon Tyree was a starter or seeing any significant playing time this year, you think we'd be talking about this today? I guarantee you not. If I was a coach, I wouldn't use those kind of words. Not my style. I don't think it's right, but I can tell you this. At least 100 times today, it's going to happen on a high school, college, or pro football team. You know what? While we're at it, let's just give everybody a pat on the back, a nice hug, even when they don't do a good job, and let's give everyone participation trophies. Let's give everyone in the American Athletic Conference, in fact, a championship trophy. You know what? People win, people lose, okay? Not everybody gets a trophy, not everybody wins a championship. And sometimes people do things wrong, you discipline, you move on. Should Dave Cohen lose his job? Not for this whole Javon Tyree thing. If he's going to lose his job, it should be for the fact that Rutgers has an awful defense. They've allowed a school record for passing yards in a single season by opponents, and with 3 games left in the season, they're 5-4. The Scarlet Knights limping into the Big Ten next year. I'm Mike Pavlichko on 1450 WCTC and WCTCAM.com.
It came down to Freehold versus Freehold Township for the NJSIA Central Jersey Group 4 Field Hockey Championship. The crosstown rivals just happened to be 2 of the state's most successful programs and were competing in the same sectional for the first time this fall. Freehold Township was seeking a 3rd straight sectional title, and Freehold its 3rd in 4 years. The top-seeded Colonials, in white and playing at home, were on the attack throughout the final. The Freehold Township defense and goalie Lori Brennan were under constant pressure and did all they could to keep Freehold off the scoreboard. But there was only so much they could do. This long through ball off the stick of Claire Luttrell was deflected into the cage by Tori Tiefenthaler, staking Freehold to a 3-0 lead. The 3-0 victory was cause for celebration and the fulfillment of a year-long quest by the Colonials. After all the hugs and the cheering, the Colonials displayed their prize, the championship trophy. Tim Morris for Greater Media Newspapers.
Middlesex County Country Club is facing a lawsuit for gender discrimination. Here's Jessica D'Amico.
A Warren Township couple has filed a lawsuit against Edison's Plainfield Country Club, which was home to the Barclays PGA tournament in past years and is set to host the competition in 2015 for alleged gender discrimination. Liza and Joseph Garubo claim that the benefits of their club membership were curtailed and that they were ostracized as a result of attempts to make the club more inclusive for women. Representatives of Plainfield Country Club were not available for comment. For more details on the suit, pick up the latest edition of the Sentinel or visit gmnews.com.
Thanks, Jess. A recent study shows that minimum wage falls short of satisfying minimum needs. Here's Nicole Antonucci.
New Jersey's minimum wage will get a slight boost come January, but one advocacy group claims more needs to be done to close the gap between poverty-level incomes and what people actually need to survive. The federal government considers people to be in poverty if they make $19,000 or below, but a study by Wider Opportunities for Women shows that people need to earn at least $30,000 annually to finance basic expenses. The study indicates what a person needs for economic security by calculating basic expenses based on where a person lives, household demographics, and savings, something that the federal poverty level doesn't do. Mary Gata, a senior scholar, says that the study determined that people are actually aging into poverty. To read more about the study, visit gmnews.com.
For more in-depth coverage and additional stories, pick up your Greater Media newspaper today. This is Susie Shea. Thanks for tuning in.